It's time for Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys.
Forgive us, Father, for we are about to sin and be very naughty boys.
So I don't know if I told y'all this, but when we were at
No, you told us. You already told us that.
at the wedding,
Oh, I was just kidding. I don't know if you had or not. I was just being
you're
an
a
asshole.
bitch. I fucking hate you.
Okay, so you were at the wedding.
Sad experience
So
with the
we were. Remember, we shared a hotel, and
with Jose and, or is this a different
no,
one?
this is you, me, and Jeff.
Oh yeah. I remember that one.
Oh, that story. Okay, go ahead.
And
Carry on.
we were we had like done like the quote unquote bachelor party.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Right. I remember parts. We had gotten really drunk. Like
Yeah.
really drunk. I mean, I'm going to probably put, because I knew I didn't have to, since I knew we had gotten an Uber and stuff, I was like, I'm going to fucking let loose. I'm just gonna drink. I'm gonna drink like it's my last night alive, and if I drop dead, it, you know.
We got the type of drunk where Brandon decided to be the designated driver the next night.
Yes, that is
Like,
absolutely 100%
the
accurate.
best way to
I was
describe it.
so, but I got to the drunk where I was like, I don't really need to drink anymore. Like, while I'm here.
We got the type of drunk where Mark forgot his booze.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! No, I forgot the booze at the wedding. It wasn't the bachelor party.
Yeah, I know. Talk about the next day.
Anyways, so we get, it was one of those, I was like, I don't remember the car ride home, but I remember Jeff talking to the driver, trying to act like because Jeff, I'll say you're what I call like a high functioning alcoholic.
Excuse you. I would say medium functioning.
Yes,
No,
you're an alcoholic, but you function proper.
No, but like not in like the sense where you're like oh man, Jeff's an alcoholic. It's just like you're able from like your frat days just to be like, hey, I know how to turn it on that even if I'm hammered, if I'm talking, people don't necessarily know.
So a quick caveat here.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a time when I was the oldest guy in the house, which meant whenever we had a party get busted, I had to talk to the cops.
Right.
Oh,
so you know how to, you've learned this trick and you know how to turn it on to be able to, I'm just like leaned up against the window and I'm like, I just want to go to fucking sleep.
I am not going to lie to you. I thought that most of that car ride was a fever dream.
Well, you know why you thought that? Because the crazy woman was going 20 miles under the fucking speed limit. So the 15-minute drive
took like
40 fucking minutes.
That's awful.
It was terrible. She was going so slow. And I'm like, I'm going to go to sleep.
It was like she was afraid if she drove faster, COVID could catch her.
Oh my God. That was, I remember that part of the conversation about her just being like,
oh God, I remember too, and I was like,
and Key, that's the thing. The reason I kept talking to this woman non-fucking stop, which was so exhausting, was because, so this was last June?
No.
August.
Last August. And the thing is, Illinois, at the time, was doing well COVID-wise.
Still in lockdown. Like, Jeff was like, don't tell anybody where you're from.
Well, to the point where this lady, she found out where we were from, and I was like, she's going to kick us out of the fucking car. So I literally, for 40 minutes, did not stop speaking to her because I was worried if I did, she was going to kick us the fuck out. And
I'm 90% sure that she thought you were trying to pick her up.
I mean, that was like 10% of why I was doing it. But anyway, and the thing is, Key, if she kicked us out, we were literally in the middle of farmland. Like,
yeah, we were fucking in cornfields.
It was scurry.
But so anyways, I wake up with like probably one of the worst hangovers I had ever had. And
Oh, this is the day of the wedding.
is this day of the
No, no.
wedding?
The next
No,
morning
we-
you woke up was the day of the wedding.
No, we had another day before the wedding.
That's right. Because we did.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I woke up the next morning feeling fine, and you guys were both just fucking passed out. So I went to the comic book store for like 2.5 hours while I waited for you
Yeah,
guys to
you
wake up.
did. Also, you didn't drink nearly as much as I did.
Right? No, I never do, bud.
Yeah, you never do because you're responsible.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Well, also, I mean, also at the same time, I had as much as I had because one, I knew like we're, you know, no one's driving in our group, like
Yeah.
at all. But so I wake up and like Jeff is still just like in that drunk morning, like coming in and out of sleep, but like still as soon like, you know, just I'm like, Jeff, I'm going to take a shower. Okay, yeah, totally fine. And then just out.
Yes,
And
I
then
remember this too.
I get into the shower and I'm like, all right, come on, pull it together, man. Like, you've dealt with hangovers before. This ain't nothing. And then I get into the shower and immediately I started like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit. I just sat on the floor of the tub and just let the water like wash over me for like a good 45 minutes. Just trying to like come to and like get over the throbbing headache that I was dealing with. And then Mark comes in and like I hear Mark come in and like, Brandon, are you in the shower? And I was like, sort of.
Okay, don't act like I came in being all loud. I was being respectful.
You
was like-
were, but you like knocked to talk loud enough over the shower.
Oh fuck yeah! I remember that morning. You guys were.
Would have been the wrong move because then Mark would have gotten to see you naked, and he still would have won.
Wouldn't have been the first time.
It wouldn't have been the first time at all.
But yeah, you guys were fucking dead to the world till like 3:00 that afternoon.
We came to because we went and got hot dogs, and that was
I remember that.
That was the perfect way to get over a goddamn hangover. Was fucking hot dogs.
We got hot dogs, and then we got comics, then we got pizza.
Oh yeah, and then that pizza made Mark and I sick.
Yeah,
God.
You got stuffed crust. What was it? Was the bacon, right?
The bacon wasn't cooked before they put it in the pizza.
Yeah.
And
So the
it
juice
tasted
is soaked into it was so
pizza.
bad.
So the thing is, it wasn't on top, so the bacon didn't cook properly.
Right.
Which we now know, like for next time.
I'm like, if you're gonna, but here's the thing, like people, you guys are like, oh, well, you shouldn't have gotten bacon. Why the fuck are you offering it as a goddamn option if you're not gonna cook it right?
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Honestly, the thing that I'm annoyed about with Giordano's is we also should have gotten a thin crust because their thin crust is still pretty thick and it's delicious.
Why did you guys take us there?
Because it's Chicago style pizza.
Right. So why am I not going to order a Chicago? I'm not going to get a fucking thin crust version. Like I want a full on.
No. What I'm saying is I miss that type of thin crust pizza. I've been lately really craving Chicago style thin crust.
I've been just craving Chicago style Twinks.
Okay, Mark, I can't describe just how much I would love to take you to Boys Town.
Okay, let's do it.
You'd have so much fun.
Let's go. Let's go right now.
Do you guys remember Wayne's World 2?
No, I never saw either of the Wayne's Worlds.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, I know what we need to do.
Just add it to the list of movies we got to watch.
Mark, there's a scene where they're performing surveillance on someone. So they're all dressed as different like people. Like one guy is a cop and one guy is like a biker.
So it looks like the Village People.
Well, they get caught So they run and they duck into a bar. And the first bar they duck into was an actual Boys Town bar called the Manhole.
Oh my God! There's a bar called the Manhole.
And there was. It's no longer open.
I wish they had a bar called the Troll Toll.
And, and they get found on stage, and a guy pulls out a record and puts on YMCA.
The Village People, which is hilarious.
What, and did
it's so
Trump walk in then? Well, I heard my theme song.
What?
Trump would walk out on stage to fucking YMCA and Macho Man all the time.
Is it because it was the
Macho,
last person that
Macho
wasn't
Man.
sending him cease and desist orders?
I mean, clearly not, because they continued to play it at his goddamn rallies.
So yeah, so they didn't send him a cease and desist. I love that that he just like didn't realize he's so hated that so many people would be like, no, you are absolutely not allowed to use our music.
Yeah, but look, let's be realistic though. Yes, he's hated by a lot, but he's also liked by a lot.
But not musicians typically.
No, not musicians.
Exactly.
Well, musicians don't typically tend to, well, at least not musicians that are making music like Macho Man are not typically Republicans.
Non-Kid Rock musicians don't tend to be hardcore conservatives.
I like Kid Rock.
Well, bad news.
I loved him in Joe Dirt.
Gotta use it.
He was in Joe Dirt?
Yeah, he was the hot chick's douchebag boyfriend.
Yeah.
Was
Was the hot chick in Joe Dirt the hot chick in Club Dread?
I don't know. I've never seen Club Dread. I do know that she was the tranny from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep, that's her then.
So real quick, I hate derailing the conversation. You guys know. I got the Scott Pilgrim versus the World video game.
Oh my God. I'm excited for that.
And it's 4-player.
Yeah. And
Yep.
it's like old school arcade style.
Yeah. So here's the thing is a lot of the enemies look like YouTubers. Like there's one that looks like fucking JonTron and there's one that looks like Markiplier. And I am just having the time of my life beating the shit out of JonTron and Markiplier.
I gotta say, by the way, I think that the Scott Pilgrim movie is the most comic accurate movie ever made.
No,
What do you think
but
is
it's
more?
close.
The Losers.
Man, I can't remember the
I've
last
never
time I
read
read
that.
The Losers.
Mr. Chris Evans, aka Captain America, being in there, which is always going to be so.
Well, he was also in Scott Pilgrim.
I was gonna say.
No, I know. That's why I love it.
Dude,
All
Chris
right, in
Evans-
all honesty, the most comic book accurate movie that we've gotten is Watchmen.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Well,
actually pretty
Apart from the shift of it not being an alien, I mean, it's pretty much,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll give you that. I didn't like it very much, though.
I just watched it the other
didn't
day
like
with
it when I
Chris
first
Banks, and
watched
I fucking love it.
The Scott Pilgrim movie came out before the comic book actually ended. That's why
Well, they were finishing it.
I mean, that's pretty common, though. Like, there's plenty of, like, TV series based off of mangas that end up, getting
that's
made
why Bleach
first.
had so many ridiculous fucking storylines, and unfortunately, because of those, the fans lost interest and they didn't get to finish. And from what I heard, the manga gets to, it gets way cooler.
Well, it's like that's part of the reason that Dragon Ball Z has so many fucking filler arcs is because, like, they caught up with the manga within, like, the first season.
Oh yeah, dude, like to the point where like they were getting things wrong. Like, okay, Super Saiyans weren't supposed to be blonde.
Right. They just didn't
Right.
have a hair. You know the Super
They-
Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, the only reason that they made it blonde was because Akira Toriyama didn't have a hair color put in place. He just didn't want it to be black anymore.
And it was just easier for them to animate blonde.
Yeah.
I think they kind of showed that in one of the movies called Lord Slug, I think.
Lord
Wait.
Slug, they did a kind of a reference to it.
Yeah,
but
like
it was the false Super Saiyan. Like it was still, so he had like the huge power boost, but his hair was still black. Um, and considering that most of the movies are non-canon, it was like everyone was like, "Oh, this is so dumb." But I don't know. I liked Lord Slug well enough.
So Jeff, Jeff, you had asked like about Scott Pilgrim being the most comic book accurate. The reason why I say that's not is because the comic series is so long. Like, I mean, the books are thick,
Oh yeah, I mean I've
and
got
there's
4
so
on my
much that they didn't include.
oh fuck, what's the
But
band
as
leader's name?
far as like, if this is what I always say, if you ever want to see like Scott Pilgrim is the best, like spark noted, like caught the essence of what the comic series was in a single movie without having to do a whole series.
That's actually a good point. I always loved the scene where they first show Scott and Wells's apartment, and
Mhm.
it does the Wells, Scott, Wells, and it's literally directly from.
Oh yeah, no, there are tons of moments that are directly taken from the pages, and that's what I love.
Yeah.
But I mean, they couldn't fit all of the story beats into the movie. It would have had
Hell,
to have been like
just
4
remembering
movies.
there's an entire story arc where it turns out the lead singer's actually been gay the entire time,
Right.
and like yeah, that's clearly not explored because there just wasn't time.
Right. Um
This
the
game's really dumb.
the other thing, what was it? I still, Scott Pilgrim has one of my favorite movie beats from like any, like scene beats from any movie I've ever seen. And it's when Knives comes over and Scott's been waiting for that package.
Oh yeah. Wait, the scene where he jumps out the window?
Yes, that is easily one of the, like, God, that is so well done.
I love
he
the scene
stepped
where
out.
he throws the window, throws the package in the garbage can without looking.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that they actually just filmed it like, what was it, like 28 times in a row until he actually got it?
Mm-hmm.
So great.
Speaking of scenes that were crazy to film, like that one's not like the craziest, but it's still awesome that they were able to get it, like him actually doing it without having to do like a jump cut or something.
Right.
And I thought for the longest time, I was like, there's no way they did this for real. Is that scene
I think
in
I know which one
the
you're talking
first
about.
Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire when he catches Mary
Oh,
Jane with the
yeah.
tray? Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's all practical effects.
Absolutely. But I thought what you were going to mention was Mary Elizabeth Winstead actually memorizing and getting all those T's in one take.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I mean, that Tobey Maguire scene, it's to the point where I still don't understand how he was able to do it.
I'm trying to
he
remember how
ended
many takes they did.
True. I mean, like, still. The fact that it like one piece didn't just knock the tray flying over because it hit at the wrong angle, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Can we talk about how fucking amazing Tobey Maguire was as Peter Parker and how disappointing he was as Spider-Man?
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Which is something I've always said. He's our best Peter Parker. He's our worst Spider-Man.
Like, that's the thing. I will say that I'm glad that Sony is improving on their casting because Tobey Maguire, great Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield, great Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man.
Terrible
Yep.
Peter Parker.
And
Exactly.
Tom Holland, perfect little angel.
Yeah.
Love him.
I love Tom Holland so much.
You know, that was also an issue I always had with Batman. We always had a good Bruce Wayne or a good Batman, but we never had a good Batman and Bruce Wayne.
I disagree. I think Michael Keaton was a good combination of the
I was
two.
gonna say I felt like Michael Keaton got the closest to the perfect balance.
Yeah.
For
Like
the time.
Well, here's my thing is
for the
I related to Michael Keaton's Batman so much from that first scene where we get to see him interact with Vicky Vale. Or was it Vicky Vale? Who was it in the first one? And
Vicky
she's
Vale.
like, hey, who like the shit that rich people buy, and he's just like, I know, man, like it's crazy the kind of stuff that rich people buy. And
And
then
he's
it's
walking
like,
away. He's like,
oh yeah,
Alfred,
by the way,
get
I'm Bruce Wayne. Like
Yeah.
that. I think that's when I started gaslighting people. I really do.
Oh, nice.
So you have Michael Keaton to thank for that, Brandon.
Great.
The
I'm
only
so
reason I
glad.
don't think that Keaton hit the perfect balance was that scene where he's in Vicky's apartment and he picks up the fire poker and starts like acting crazy at the Joker. Is like,
When I get
that
nuts.
is so out of place.
I don't know. I thought it worked for what he was going for.
I know what he was going for.
Devil in the Pale Moonlight.
It's kind of like, huh?
Couple of tango lessons here and there.
I mean, I'd put Michael Keaton's wiener in my mouth.
I mean, that's not saying much.
Weird beat, but okay.
I always remember the barbershop where I was growing up had the cover of the Mad magazine where, what's the redhead's name that was always on the cover with the freckles?
Yeah, I know who Mad Magazine cover is.
Anyway, it was him giving Michael Keaton a haircut, and he cut his hair with the like the bat ears. I always thought that was just such a great cover.
Mhm.
I gotta be honest, Mad Magazine was never nearly as good as Mad TV was.
I gotta be honest, neither was really all that good.
I really enjoyed Mad TV. Like, they had some pretty cool or pretty funny original characters. Like,
Mad
Was it
TV
Stewart?
just kind of tried to just pushed it too hard sometimes and was like really overreaching. But I think the same can be. I not say that the writing wasn't good because when it was good, it was amazing. I honestly, I just think people nitpick on Mad TV more than they do on SNL because SNL's just been going for so long that people just block out the stuff that didn't work.
yeah.
People forget
And,
SNL
like-
has like good runs, but we currently have decades of bad SNL. And I don't mean right now, and I don't mean like continuously. I mean like we have
There's
decades.
so many
of bad
episodes
SNLs.
that you
Yeah.
have like decades worth that just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah. I knew what you meant.
I'm gonna be real here. I think the best run that SNL had was when like Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, and all of those
absolutely.
guys were there. I think that they really hit the stride with that.
Now, there are certain eras that are better than others, but also remember, like with those, like you didn't like. Can you honestly say that you've watched like whole episodes of SNL from that era?
No.
Oh,
When they're all
absolutely
there?
not.
Right. There was a lot of garbage that was mixed into it. But the thing is, it didn't matter because when everything else was so good around it that it kind of made up for it, or at least their batting average was better. There are some Chris Farley bit. There's one that they tried where he was El Nino.
I
Like,
fucking loved that.
that one was awful.
Really? Oh, I loved that sketch.
It's not funny.
I just watched that sketch. I fucking loved it.
I don't like it.
My favorite's always going to be Sean Connery and fucking
Oh, and Alex Trebek.
back. Yep.
Oh my God.
Well, we can't do that. I don't think they're going to be doing that anymore
Which is fair. Alex is
after
gone.
he died.
I read recently that evidently the Chippendales skit really fucked with Farley bad. Like it sent him down a real bad hole.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is upsetting because it is one of the funniest fucking
the
skits.
poking fun at his weight thing.
But,
Yeah.
you know, like they like I don't know. The premise of it
It was,
fucking-
I mean,
was
think
great.
of all the time. Like, the thing
It
is,
was so fun.
Farley was the type of person that would commit, but overcommit. And it made
True.
him so good. But at the same time, like, he still dealt with his own issues and stuff. He still had, like, body image issues of himself. And
And
to do what he did, because I mean, Mark, think about like all the crazy shit that you've done, and you really like, you really commit to what any bit that you're doing and stuff.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of like Farley-esque, like
I took a lot of inspiration
characteristics.
from him.
Yeah,
You have
absolutely.
what we like
But-
to call the Farley quotient.
Yeah. But at the same time, you still have like your like I really would prefer not to do that because I don't like it's like every once in a while something won't sit well with you,
Yeah.
and like very much in the sense of like I can't think of any time you're like I'm just going to do something shirtless and I'm just going to other than the shirts off thing, but even
Right.
still you're like I'm not crazy about this, but we were also like trying to do whatever we could to get money.
Right. We were desperate
Which
for money.
sounds really dirty and concerning out of
Boorish.
context. Yeah.
Well,
Mark,
yeah.
take your shirt off.
Prostitute adjacent.
Okay.
Prostitute Junction.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
but-
like, and yeah, I definitely get where Chris Farley's coming from. Like, God, I have, like you said, I have my limits. I know, like, when when there's a thing that crosses my line, and like to deal with especially with that, where it's literally they're putting him up next to fucking Patrick Swayze. Like, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's
I
fun,
also
like,
read that when he saw Beverly Hills Ninja, he cried because he thought it was so bad. And it's like, I think it's one of my not one of my favorite movies, but I enjoy it so thoroughly. It just makes me so sad that he hated it that much.
Well, also, all right. So here's the thing about that movie, though. There's a reason why he didn't. There's a couple of reasons why he didn't like it, but the big reason was because he had lost so much weight
Yeah, he
and
was looking
actually did a lot of training and was taking care of himself,
he was doing a
reasonably
lot of
taking care of himself. He wasn't. I don't think he was. I mean, he was doing things. He was trying to set things right because it had him do. He wanted to do as much of the physical stuff as possible,
And from what I read, he did a lot.
and he did. But the problem is, there was a long gap, and then he went to do reshoots, and he was not in that good of shape anymore. So there
that
are
makes
points in the movie where like, oh no, like you see different, like two different versions of Farley in that movie. And that's one of the things that he noticed that he just was so upset about.
Oh, that makes me sad, Pan.
yeah.
I always hate it when it's like, oh man, it brings me so much joy, but like it makes the person that's bringing me that joy so sad. No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to start with happy pandas.
Hey guys, if you just can't get enough of Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys, you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SR Sleepy Boys, or you can check out our YouTube channel, Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys. You can also find us on Spotify, Radio Public, Anchor, Breaker Radio, and coming soon, Apple Podcasts.